going for Dolphins? You heard me. We back in the house. Wanted to go ahead and do a video for y'all real quick. Recapping, just giving my thoughts really more so than anything on the last few days of camp. Hey man, camp been camping. All right, when you really think about it, you can't really go into camp looking for Tua to ball out. You can't go into camp looking for Tyreek to ball out. You can't go into camp looking for the defense to straight ball out or the offensive line to win all they reps or the defensive line to win all they reps because we going against each other, right? So the way I look at it, if there's a good play by the defense, I'm hype. If there's a good play by the offense, I'm hype, right? Because you're going against yourself. So if there's an incompletion or if there's a ball, like let's say Tua throws a ball and let's say that the ball was on the money, wide receiver is there, but Jalen Ramsey knocks the ball out of his hands. I'm not going to really be upset. It's Jalen Ramsey. You know what I'm saying? Or even if it's not, let's say it's Cam Smith who got injured. So he's not there right now. Cam Smith makes a play, right, on Tyreek Hill, for example, or he makes a play on River Craycraft, for example, on the same scenario. Yeah, I mean, we wish Craycraft would bring that ball in, but Kader Kohu's making plays, and we want to see that because we're going to need him, right? So, offensive line, let's say any of the guys, name whichever one. Let's just say Liam Eichenberg. Let's say Liam Eichenberg's in there and he gets beat by Chop, right? Yeah, we want Eichenberg to do better, but Chop, he beat a guy that's been in the league for a while, right? So those are the type of things that we got to contend with when we're talking about going against ourselves. Only when we're in preseason games or in next week's joint practices with the Falcons are we going to really get a good tell of, all right, it was our guy against somebody else. What happened? All right, we're going to get to know at that point, is the defense really like that for real? Because they were stopping the offense for the last few days. Or, you know, is the defense really trash? Or, like, are we going to be like, all right, offense, they still the same offense. It's just against our defense they was having trouble, right? Or, oh, dang, offense kind of struggling for real. Like, these ain't just issues against our team. It's issues over across the board. I don't believe that. I believe the offense, once we get to the season, it's going to be the same offense we've always seen. Save for the offensive line maybe being a little more leaky, right? But other than that, I don't see our offense changing too much, better or for worse. I hope they change for better, but I don't see them changing too much. I see us being a top 5 offense, but hopefully we just don't break down at the end of the year like we have been doing these last 2 years. But defense, they've been on it, right? Defensive line, getting pressure. Cornerbacks, sticking to their man. We not letting up the deep stuff that we was letting up last 2 years with Tua. Just every doggone practice almost, he heaved one to Tyreek Hill or the water for a touchdown. That ain't happening this time around. All right, this defense, and they just learning the defense, is pretty good. Linebacker play has been pretty good as well. All right, Brooks, he been in on some plays. Even Tyndall, I heard Tyndall's name a couple times. He been on some plays. So we got guys like Quentin Bell or Quinion Bell, or I'm not sure exactly, but his last name is Bell. Balling out. I heard Storm Duck name a few times. I'm hearing a lot of good things about a lot of these guys, especially on the defensive end where we're actually doing our thing. Offensive line, that's been a little bit of a problem, especially when it comes to the snapping, and we're talking about all 3 centers. Hopefully they get that corrected because I ain't got the patience. I watched, and I'm going to do a video on it, all of the games from last year. And there was like 3 separate times when we were inside the 5-yard line. And there were other times, I think it was like 2, where we were inside the 5-yard line where a bad snap caused us to lose a touchdown. And then there were other times, one namely against the Kansas City Chiefs, where the snap was bad, which didn't allow Tua to get the ball off. You know, like things like that, or Tua dropping the ball, not looking it in when it's coming to him. That happened as well. Like the snapping issues, we can't have that. Especially, I didn't believe we would have that from Brewer, being that he's been a center. Like he's been a center. It's not like Connor when he was learning the center position till you gave him a little grace. I can't give Brewer no grace because he should know the position. Hiking the ball back, doesn't matter how tall or how short, shouldn't be that big an issue if you've been a center this whole entire time. He has. I'm not understanding why he's having snapping issues sending that ball back to Tua, especially hopping the ball. You can't be sending it back and it's hopping on the ground. All right, that ball got to be up a little bit. And getting it over the head, that's just egregious at this point. You're in the NFL. You shouldn't be snapping the ball over nobody's head. Anyway, wide receivers, they doing their thing. Waddle's doing his thing. Waddle's balling out. All right, he's catching away from his body. He's doing what he's supposed to be doing. Tyreek, he's doing what he's supposed to be doing as well. All right, he's still catching them passes across the middle of the field. Tighter coverage, but he's still getting his. All right, him and Jalen Ramsey, they went at it today in practice on one-on-ones. Ramsey got him one. Tyreek got him one, right, in the one-on-one. So they did good there. Waddle and Ramsey, during the actual 11-on-11s, they had a nice little battle. And Jalen Ramsey ended up getting him some nice plays, but Waddle made some nice plays too, namely for some touchdowns. All right, he got 2 touchdowns on the day. So, I mean, that's good, right? That's good to see. Tua, he's been consistent. That's what Tua's been. Like he hasn't been flashy this time around yet. Like last year or the last 2 years where it was bombs over Baghdad, it ain't been that, right? He ain't been throwing bombs all training camp, like, or at the beginning of, because we're still early, like the last 2 years. But I mean, he's still making plays. I'm seeing a lot more checking at the line of scrimmage. So I'm guessing that they're upping his responsibilities a little bit. Maybe because Connor was maybe really smart up here. I don't know, right? But Connor had those responsibilities. I'm assuming it's because Connor was really smart up here and he could do certain things, whereas now Tua is taking those reins back a little bit. I would assume it's because Brewer's just learning the offense, so they're trying to take some stuff off of his plate while he's learning the offense. I don't know. But Tua is checking a lot more at the line, and he's communicating a lot more at the line of scrimmage. I do like that. There was one play in particular. There was a show of blitz. He checked at the line of scrimmage, threw a touchdown to Fortson. I'm not just Fortson, to Hill, wide open, right? So that's the type of plays I'm looking to see. But we're letting up still too many sacks. There's a couple passes that were touchdowns after sacks. Those don't count, right? There was one that they showed in the Miami Dolphins Twitter and their social media feed where he throws a nice pass to Hill, but if you look at it, it was a sack. And he would have got, if he threw that pass in a real game, he's getting destroyed. Plain and simple. So offensive line got to be a lot better. I like what I'm seeing from the defensive line. We're not allowing big runs either. That's not happening against this defensive line, although you would have thought without Christian Wilkins that the defensive line would be struggling. But it seems like, guys are run fitting well. It seems like they're coaching them well. Seems like, right? Remember I said that. Don't come for me, it's early. Seems like, all right? I know it's early, but it seems like they are blocking. They are run fitting well, all right? Because there's been a problem in the past, run fits, but it looks like with the linebackers, with the defensive line, they're doing what they're supposed to do. Chop has been a beast. When the pads came on, beasted. All right, that first step off the line reminds me of Cam Wake, right? It's just beautiful to see. 2 Penn State guys too, by the way. But just hopefully he progresses. Hopefully he can be better when it comes to holding up on when it comes to the rush. All right, setting the edge. That's the word I was looking for. The phrase I was looking for. Setting the edge. Hopefully he's setting the edge well, because we're going to need him to do that. As a young guy, it's going to be a little tougher. It was tough for Jalen Phillips. It was tough for Jalen Phillips, but Jalen Phillips was even a bigger, stronger guy. And if it was tough for him, although it is about technique, let's be honest, but if it was tough for him, you could assume that it's going to take Chop a little bit of time. Hopefully he can get it right away, and then we can hit the ground running, because Chubb's not going to be there for a while. Bell, who knows if he's just having a little Cinderella moment. And then we're going to need Chop. We're going to need Kamara, who's made a few plays as well. Kamara, I'm not sure how you would say his last name. And then obviously Phillips when he comes back, because he'll be back a lot sooner than Chubb will be back. We need those guys to rush the quarterback, and we need to be able to be effective rushing the quarterback. Can't give the quarterback all day. Although I got a little more trust in what I'm hearing about and what I'm not hearing about when it comes to the defensive backs. Also, we got here's who we're not hearing about, right? And I know he's practiced a few times. Kendall Fuller, I haven't heard anything about him. So either he's really guarding this man well, or he just ain't practicing at all. I don't know. But I'm not hearing anything about him. Poyer's making plays as well. He had him an interception off Tua. Like, we're looking solid, real solid on defense. And then something TD had said I really resonated with, because it made a lot of sense to me. It's like, to him, like, we're looking like we're going to be a little better when it comes to defensively. Now, we had some miscues today. Now, there was some guys running wide open that wasn't supposed to be running wide open. Breakdown in communication. A-Chan got him a touchdown off that. Hill got him a touchdown off that. Julian Hill. So, yeah, we got to sure that up. We don't need coverage breakdowns and then guys being wide open for touchdowns. We don't need that. But that aside, defense looked like it's a really good defense. It's not that extra zone heavy, the middle of the field is wide open type of defense that we're used to going against, but it's more that Baltimore in your face, we're going to press at the line of scrimmage, might still be zone, but we're clogging up the middle, you better get it on the outside type of defense, right? So that's the type of defense that we're going up against every day. That's going to sharpen us, make the offense hopefully better for it. So that when we get into the season, them late season collapses ain't happening, because our offense has finally had an answer for that stuff until they bring something else to slow the offense down. You're not going to be able to do some of the things that we're doing on defense in every team. That's why there are certain teams that don't play certain defenses against Miami, because they don't have the personnel to do it. So I still expect the offense to be potent. Now, how potent? I don't know. We're going to find out in the season. But the offense still should be a top 10. Hopefully we can have a top 10 defense, and that'll be enough to get us in the playoffs. And who knows, once you get there, anything can happen, right? But I do like what I'm hearing, once again, from practice so far. Yes, it's not the bells and whistles we're used to. It's not the 50-yard, 60-yard bomb touchdowns. But I believe progress is being made. You're not hearing interceptions every other play either. So let's take that for what it is. Although there have been some dropped interceptions. It's not like Tua. And I'm talking about Tua. I'm not talking about the backups. I'm talking about Tua. With Tua, you don't hear interceptions every other play or a lot of bad balls. You're not hearing about that. You're hearing that the defense is breaking up passes, which happens. There's no such thing as 100% completion rate. It's usually in the 60s. So 70s at best. So you're gonna have pass breakups. You're gonna have errant throws at times, and then you're also not hearing that Tua's making every practice a bunch of bad decisions. Right? That's not happening. Tua's elevated his game to at least being pretty even across the board and being consistent, right? And that's what we want. We want a consistent quarterback play. Yes, we want the flashy stuff. Yes, we want to see him move in the pocket and throwing against his body 60 yards, but that's not the type of guy we got. All right, we're going to get some flashy plays, but we're not going to get cross-body throws 50 yards down the field like we saw from Caleb Williams, like we saw from some of these other rookies that are just showing some crazy skills. And then as we've seen from Pat Mahomes and those type of guys too. Pat Mahomes, earlier this week, or maybe it was late last week, they put it on Twitter, rolling against his body, threw it 60 yards to Xavier Worthy. Whew, they're going to be a problem to deal with. But, hey, we got a great offense, so hopefully we can put up points, and hopefully this new defense can stop people from putting up points so we can win more games. I can't wait to see what'll happen in the scrimmage on Saturday. I'll be there for that. By the way, I will be at the scrimmage. I don't know if they'll be practicing tomorrow. Probably will, but I'll be at the scrimmage. I'm going to make that trip down to Miami to watch that scrimmage, and then I'll give you some info on that later on that night as I head back up. It's a 3-hour drive for me. So, I'll if you're going, I'll see you there. I'll have on some Dolphin United merch. So you should be able to find me pretty easy. And then, if you want to chop it up and whatever, I'll be at the doggone scrimmage to watch the game. And then I'm going to chill in Miami for a little bit because Miami's a vibe, right? But I'll holler at y'all in the next one. Y'all already know what it is. Fins up till we die. I'll see y'all after the scrimmage on Saturday. I'm out.